Bonjour, hi, welcome to the stream. I'm Frank Boucher, your host. Welcome behind my cloud, this place where for the next 2 hours we'll be learning and having fun. I'm coding, you do whatever you want to do, you continue to do what you have to do, and we're just having fun. So, want to share a little bit. If you miss a stream, if you want to look back and see what he's talking about, what was my score? Because yes, there's a game here you could play if you do something like exclamation point drop in the chat. You could try to land on this target here. Boom, boom. That game was done by Instafluff. Yeah, super cool. And CB is keeping track. So CB is our cloud bot. Here, he's tracking track of our score. So that's why I'm having trouble. Like my mouse is not in a good PC. There it is. So beyond my cloud, I put archive everything there. So you'll have like the summary of all the projects, the stream and stuff like that. If you go by projects, you can go and see all the projects we worked on. You will have all the description. For example, recently we're working a lot about the URL shortener. There's still work to do there. I just need to work on something else. So today we'll be working on something else. But yeah, so you will see all the streams are listed there. I try to be as details as I can. There it is. So behind my cloud, you know what? Let's put it in the chat. But it's behindmycloud.com. But today is a new project. Like I was saying, there's still a lot of work to do on the URL shortener and the tiny admin Blazor. It's functional. The documentation is present to be able to install it. So I was like, okay, let's work on another project. And I was like, oh, let's go back and build a game or revisit. We had the text game and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, maybe I could do it with event-driven stuff, observer and things like that. Or like I could do like a tower defense chat game. I was having tons of ideas, but they're not finished. I need a more finished idea before I can start something. And reading notes is a thing that I do every Monday. So like I have right now a lot of manual steps. I have some automation. We built some automation in the past, but it's since the cycle was not completed, I cannot use it. And text changed so much. Like I think we did some section and it was using .NET Core 2.1, I think, or something like that. Now we're at .NET 7. So we can improve and do things differently. So today I want to work on that. So let's CB knows that we start working on that. So start one. There it is. So in the to-do list. So what I want to do is working on my reading notes. What it is, reading notes are my reading notes. I should have like a drum roll thing. Those are my notes that I share on my blog, Frankie's Notes. Just for me, a way to remember what I read. So it's really what is trending, like the recent article and stuff like that, and what I'm interested. So for example, if I want to do like recently I was a little bit more invested in about like, okay, how can I use container with the Blazor? How can I use container app? How can I do this? Like Canva, because I was interested in games. So how can I have like a Canva inside Blazor? So I was kind of reading a lot about that. So my reading notes will reflect that. But also I will read something that is in my field of expertise or interest, and a way for me to remember what I read and kind of also share, because I think there's a lot of people writing really great article. So like I just put like a one-liner, say, hey, this is a cool thing, like a good blog post, like a good So one-liner, try to explain what it is or why you should read about it, what's good about it. And I share that. I've been doing that for a very, very long time. So 34 weeks. So yeah, and the way it works is we have this project here where I try to share kind of like the previous history. And for me, it's also a way to having that project. I will just lower a little bit the music on my side. So this repo here, reading notes, is a place where like I did a bunch of stuff, and it's always, if you're new, I will explain. If you know me, I like to build something to learn a language, a framework, some tools. So like first version of the reading notes engine was done in Ruby because I was like, hey, you know what? Let's learn Ruby. It looks pretty cool. So I'm not talking about Ruby on Rails. It was really Ruby as a script. I was like, yeah, I can't really know PowerShell. I know a little bit of Bash. Let's learn a new script. And I learned Ruby. So I did that. And then after I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I need to have like all the scripts on different laptop, or like if I'm traveling and just have like my phone or a tablet or something like that. I don't have any tools, or like I'm visiting family and like I cannot use their computer because they don't have a developer tool. It's just like a regular family PC or whatever. So let's put everything in the cloud. So version 2 was that, but I was using different services. Those services went out. So I start rebuilding, and we did that, starting rebuilding those services a very long time ago, 3 years ago. That means it's been 3 years I've been streaming. Well, like on and off, but oh, that's cool. Interesting, 3 years streaming. Okay, so the current version, we're working on that, and I start kind of looking where things were yesterday. I'm off. I needed to take some vacation, so I'm off. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let's have a look. So I had like half the day yesterday off, and I took a peek into the code, kind of start already refreshing things. So there's 3 kind of momentum or phases in the reading note engines. There's the pre-reading, where I found an article that is interesting and I want to send it to my Kindle. I'm using the Kindle. It was floating just beside me here, so Kindle here. So there's tools, send to Kindle, clean up your, remove all the ads and stuff and send that. In fact, there's like an icon just here. If I can zoom. Oh, there. Just here. So when you do this, it clean up stuff and it send. But then when I want to build that blog post, I still need the URL. I want to know the author. Like there's a few things I would like to know. So I want to keep that information before. So what I do right now is I use Pocket. So for example, let's go. I don't know. Let's go on DevTO. And let's VS Code 020 cell. Perfect. So that's the URL we'll be using. What's the text editor? Boom. And this will be our notes for now. So let's say we like this post. So I will put it into Pocket. So I will keep the URL and I will be able to find it after. And then I could do like this, say preview to send. It's analyzing the website for a very long time. Voila. Come on. And sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Rickroll. Okay. So like there's no more ads. See, like we lost that. There was ads on the website, or not ads, but like stuff related to the blog but not to the posts. So now we don't have that. So we just have the blog post. So we can send this to the Kindle. But then when I want to retrieve that, I need a URL and things like that. So what I want to do is build a system. So that's the pre-reading where like I'm cleaning the stuff and I'm saving some information and then I'm sending that to my Kindle. So here I start doing things and I think I have a schema. See, I should have start with that. Can I make it a little bit smaller? So that's my schema. You know what? Let's go full screen. And yeah, cool. So that's what I was talking about. So we found a good article in the browser. So we send that to a Logic app and a bunch of stuff will happen. A Logic app is an integration tool where it can call multiple services. There's other tools to do that. I just like Logic app. It's in Azure, and since I already have a bunch of tools that will be in Azure, that's why I'm using Logic app. You could do that with Power Automate. You could do that with other services where you chain by code. But what I like with that is it's a part that doesn't have code, and it's really reliable. So we'll be using that. So we'll change a little bit what's happening because that was the version we did 3 years ago. But I think we'll still have some kind of bookmarklet, so JavaScript code to send the URL to a Logic app. We'll have a, see, it's not Mercury anymore because it was another system. We have a service that can remove all the ads. So we'll be, I did a wrapper around that service. So we'll show you that. It's a node. So call an Azure function. So this is in the Azure function section. And then we'll have like the clean code. We'll save document into our somewhere. Oh, into Cosmo DB? We save the document into Cosmo DB? Not sure I want to save the... Probably save the... Okay, we'll see where it's go, but I want to save the information about the post. So what was the URL, the author, and stuff like that. This is all provided by this services here. And then here I was using Pandoc in a container, and I was using the Azure container instance to do that. So I was creating a container instance, waiting for it to spawn, and then sending it, and I need to close it. And this service was expensive, not the Pandoc, but the Azure container instance, because it's built for this purposes, but I think my work is way too light for, so it's not worth it. Like if you find a good article, it's just like it takes like a fraction of a second, but to process that, turning on like a you know, starting a container and stopping a container will take minutes. So I think that's not the best way to do that. So we'll replace that by the container app with a scaling to 0. So and since we're not calling it often, I think it will cost us nothing, or mostly nothing. So that's my plan. I already have that build. So that's the thing I built yesterday. And then we'll send that by email to the Kindle service. So like the way Kindle works or Amazon works is you can send attachment. Oh yeah, I didn't explain. So Pandoc is a converter. So it convert bunch of, there's tons of format to tons of format, text file, Word document, and things like that. Just a second. Yeah, so what I do, I did a bunch of experiment sending PDF. Doesn't look good on my Kindle because I think it's the format, it's too tiny, and the rendering is not great. I think if I had a bigger Kindle, or if I was reading on a tablet, it would be better. But on this Kindle, what I found was the closer to like a real book was a Word. And I think now ebooks are supported, so maybe we can try ebook. But yeah, so I want to have this. So we use Pandoc for this. So we have the HTML. We save that into a ebook, EPUB, sorry, or in a Word document. I know Word is working very well, and we send that as an attachment to the email to Kindle, and then it's land there. On phase 2, it's really building that aggregate, like the blog post, the reading notes. So it's getting back the information. We'll be doing that later. Not today, I don't think so, but doing that again, like all the Kindle keep all the information, so we'll be looping through all the information, retrieving the data we had previously, taking our notes, building that blog post. And because you could want to add manually more, because maybe you had typos. Typing on a Kindle is not the best experience ever. We have like a summary editor where we could just open a summary, add more. Maybe there's I start adding podcast episode in my reading notes, and those are not sent to my Kindle, so I could add those manually and things like that. And right now, I'm doing that on VS Code and stuff like that, but I could have that in a browser, and I think that would be a best experience. So this way I could just do it from anywhere. So that's the goal to do. But today we are integrating, so we are doing that thing here. So let me share this URL, and if you have questions, let me know. Cool. So what I did is I was talking about the parser. So the parser is now owned by Pushlight. So I did a wrapper, and this is in Node. What it does, it cleans, really clean a service, extracting the content from the chaos. You provide a URL and it just clean it, and you receive this. So you will have let me zoom a little bit. So, and let's go into the other corner. Voila. So here it's empty. So we'll have the title, the content, of course, the article, the author, the date published, and things like that. URL, you have a bunch of word, the information about that. So then the reading notes will be able to keep that, and that's the information I want to save. That's why I was saying the content. I'm not sure I want that. Well, we'll see. I know we built the logic app before. But yeah, so I want to save that information, so when we're building the summary, like the reading notes blog post, we'll have all that, and what we need is my note, so part of the file in the Kindle. So what I did here for my project was I just made a wrapper out of it. So if we go here, so this is in Node, and I'm not a Node developer, so be nice with me for any comments. I'm like a heavy learner. We build CB live on this stream, learning Node. I don't like mode. No, I should have start with TypeScript. I think right now my bigger issue is I have errors, and it's hard for me to understand where they come from. Yeah, so what I did is an Azure function, and I build like a dev container so other can just try it, or run it locally or whatever if we needed some investigation. So here the function is a parser. So if we go into index, like I'm using, oh, I should change that. It's Mercury. It's Pushlight. Yeah, I should change that. You know what? Let's change it. Yeah, let's change it. This, and we'll do a Control H like this. Boom, boom. Cool. So yeah, so I'm making a requirement on Pushlight parser and on the UUID, and then I'm just calling this. It needs to be I'm passing a URL. Can be in the body or in the query string. Extracting that, just like using that library that will parse, cleaning up everything, and then I'm just sending it back as a result. And if there's no URL, then I'm asking to do it. That's all it's done. Now to add external library to your Azure function, it's just the same thing you need to have in your package. You put your dependencies just like that, and when you deploy, it will be done automatically. So no special need to do. Hosts, like there's nothing special here. I'm using the version, like I don't know where, oh, it should be 4. Yeah, very simple. Here, like it's an HTTP trigger. I can get a post because I was like, I think get is better, but post, if you put, I don't think we'll be using post. I think it will be mostly get, but that's good. And that's it. That's all what it is. So now let's say update name for Bing. And we'll publish this, and it will at the same time show you something. So if I go here and I say go back to repository, so this is what it is. And now from Azure, I create an Azure function, and now I have a CI/CD. So in node v3 here, so this is the Azure portal. Now I have an Azure function here, and in the deployment, when you create that, you could set the deployment. So if I go in deployment center here, I specify my GitHub repository. So it's using my GitHub repository, and it create a CI/CD, so continuous integration. So because I update, like I should have shown you the integration file. But now every time like I push to master, it will start this and push the code over there. That's simple. And the GitHub action are defined in this file here, workflows, not inside the folder workflows in a file in the YAML file. And here you can see that every time there's a push on the branch main, it will execute all of that. So that was one thing. The other thing I created was a container app and it's here, my Pandoc. And this, it's expecting, it's for converting a file to another. So if I send like an HTML, then I can convert it to a Word document. I don't know if it support EPUB, that container, but we can give it a try. Yeah. So that's what it is. So now I want to create a logic app to really make the integration, to really like be waiting for a blog post, a URL, and start doing the things. But before we do that, we will need a Cosmo DB. And I think here I was like, deploy the Azure resources, logic app using this. So apparently I had stuff created in Azure Function. So this was the previous version. I changed it. Azure Function using the folder. Let's have a look. Whoops. Yeah, that was the Mercury parser. I updated that. Cool. And the Cosmo with a collection name post to read, and a partition name, and a partition key domain. Okay. So I think we need to start by the Cosmo DB, and we also need to update our to-dos. Done one. Voila. And now to do start 2, right? Yeah. I can do this also. Time creating Azure Cosmo DB. Why I want to use Azure Cosmo DB? Because I will be working with files, JSON file, and Cosmo DB is a non-relational, a NoSQL database. Is it the best one for what I want to do? Probably not. Let me rephrase. What I want to do with it using Cosmo DB is way overskill. It's way too much, but I want to learn it because it's very useful for so many projects. So I will be using the free tiers, like the baby, whatever level it is, and it will be plenty of resources for me. So in that optic, that's perfect. I could be using MongoDB, I could be using a bunch of other NoSQL database, but I thought, using Cosmo DB will be great. I know the PM, so if I have any experience to share some feedback, I will be able also to bring back that to them. So that's why I picked Cosmo DB. I was looking forward to do a project with SQL. It's been a while since I did any SQL and maybe entity framework. That's why kind of with the games and other stuff, I was like, I would like to have SQL so I could, do things. But that's for another day. But today we'll be doing Cosmo DB. So what I want to do now is in that V3, I'm looking for my words, a resource group. So in Azure, you have a resource group. It's just like a big bag where you put all your resources together. You could apply security, you could delete them in batch, you could do a bunch of stuff. And why I'm doing that here is eventually I could say, you know what, I want to script everything that is in there. So you have one click, it will deploy everything and it will be all set. So we could, delete, move things around. That will be better. Just want to see if our deployment was done. I'm guessing yes. Did I close the... Yeah, looked like I did close the thing. Okay, looked like I did close the thing. Let's see if it's somewhere. It failed. Interesting. Okay, why would it fail? would it fail? You know what? I think it's just like a... Can I rerun? I feel like it. I don't understand why it would have failed. I changed nothing. Okay, so now we want to create, so inside that resource group, node v3, I want to add a Cosmo DB database. So we'll click that little plus here. We'll search for Cosmo. Is it Cosmos or Cosmo? Azure Cosmos. Cosmo DB. And here it is. So I want to create this. Ooh, so now there's... So which API is the best to suit your workload? So Azure Cosmo DB is a full managed NoSQL and relational database service built. Oh, yeah, it's true. And like you have a bunch of APIs, so you could use Azure Cosmo DB for NoSQL, the Cosmo DB MongoDB, Cassandra, the Cosmo DB for table, and I'm using that connector here when I'm doing the URL shortener. Apache Gremlins, Postgres. Do I want to go? I think we did. So this is still running. This is the code. Identity database, Cosmo DB, Mongo interface. Since Mongo interface is not supported at the moment, roll back to SQL API. Really? Oh, in the connector? No. Logic app, standard, logic app, integration services, Power Automate. So I think now the deployment, yeah, I think now like it's been 3 minutes. I feel like this is working. Okay. Yeah, I think. It's funny because like I in the previous version, I never worked either with the MongoDB, and I think that's why I picked that one. I think we start working on MongoDB in a project. Oh, I think it was for the game, the blind game, the text game, adventure game. I think we used that. That's why I was using this. But SQL API, like I know there's an SQL API, but I don't see it. See? So I don't know. It was a glitch in the deployment work. So cool. But here I see the Cosmo for NoSQL. Let's try to do a Cosmo DB one. I don't know. Yeah. Let's do Cosmo reading notes Mongo. And I'll go east to west if it's possible, please. Yep, because I'm here. Provision throughput. I think serverless will be better for my purpose. Okay, serverless. Yeah, that's a new thing. So let's have a look. Serverless could be good too, though. But I think, yeah, Cosmo DB is available in two different capacity mode. The provisioned, so like when you have like stuff reserved, or serverless. You can. Everything in the line is just the way it worked. I don't need any speed, so I'm guessing the provisioned will have like a more traffic, yeah, so like better predictable performance. For me, it's fine. Like I'm sending stuff to my Kindle. If it takes 5 seconds, 30 seconds, even a minute, it's fine. So maybe serverless is better. Artworks for each container, configure some throughput, prevent blah, blah, blah. Run your database operation against a container without having configured. Okay, it's cool. Geo available. See. So geolocated distribution, it's available. I don't care again because like this is not like Cosmo DB is great because you can have multiple instances. So wherever people are, they will have a good response time. Like the experience will be great. For hard purposes, we don't need that. So maybe serverless is the answer. And maximum storage, 50 gig. It's more than plenty. Performance, like I said, we don't care for now. Billing. The billing is done per hour basis with the hey Blazer, Mr. Magoo, hello, welcome to the stream. Billing is on our per hour basic number of hour. No. Okay. Can I go to the pricing tab? Yeah. At the same time, I'm looking for something that is not expensive, like it's just to send stuff. I can turn it off if I want to. There was a free tier, so I'm guessing there's no free tier in the serverless. see. This is all about the pricing model. Nope. That's not what I want. I want the Azure Cosmos DB. Let's go to there. Oh, what? No, I don't want to go to the documentation. I think it's that page I want. Yeah. Pricing. So auto scale provision throughput. Backup storage, retention, analytics. Try Cosmo DB for free. There's 3 variety of way you could get started. Okay, so 30 days free. Okay. There's the free tier. Develop test application, run a small production workload free within Azure. Get the free tier, new account. So, okay. So it is a provisions throughput. Okay, but if I go with the serverless, because you know at the end of the month, if I pay like $2, it's fine. Like I'm it won't be a lot of traffic. That's why I was saying that Cosmo DB is overload for that. Oops, sorry. Wood, Frank! It's been a long time. Tight down pool, yeah! It's been a while. Yeah, no, like there was no obligation to join the stream. I'm happy you're here. Yeah, I've been back streaming for a few weeks now. Try to be consistent. Back to the coding. I was missing it, so I was like, you know what? It's my time. Let's do it, and I'm having fun. So it's totally Frank stuff. It's not Microsoft. Well, I know, like I'm still using Microsoft tech, of course, but yeah. Pricing one also the Cosmo. So we're back into the reading notes project. 3 years ago we started that. Building the version 3, so we are starting again to do that. Same for me. Happy to see you're all good. Database operation, serverless offer, on-demand database provision, build. Yeah. I think I will go. So, 1,000,000 is 25 cents. Remember, what's the point of this project? Yeah, of course. I just spent the first half hour explaining, yeah, but like super quick. I don't like to read on screen, so I send article to my Kindle. I use Kindle for as an e-reader. So you have buttons that send to Kindle, remove all the stuff, but I also then take notes on that to share my blog post. If I go on my quickly on Frankie's notes, every Monday I've been publishing my reading notes, and I just put the one-liner. I do that for me to remember what I read, but also because there's a few people reading that, and I think all those authors deserve like, hey, look, this article is cool. It's about blah 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 blah. This article explain this is the perfect one to get started on this tech or whatever. So I'm doing that. I start doing also podcasts recently. I do books when I read books. Sometimes I'm not up to date. I think I read 4 books that are not part of my reading notes. But to have that information, I need to get back again like the author name, the URL, the title of the things. So reading notes project is in 3 phases where you have, where is it? It's here. You have the pre-reading where we take an article, clean it up, clean it up, parse it to extract the information we want. So we have the author and stuff like that. We will save that, and then we'll generate something that is compatible and send that to the e-reader, in my case, Kindle. So that's the phase we're working. I call that the pre-reading phase. After that, the future will be working on the generation summary. So really kind of building that list here, extracting. So like every time I take a note, I put kind of tags. So I extract the tags, put them like unique instance. So if like 2 articles were like, oh, those 2 are about Azure, I want to see Azure just once. So that kind of thing. So generating that, because typing there is not the best experience, and maybe I want to add podcasts or not in the Kindle. We want to build an editor so you could edit online. So this is where we have like the summary edition. Right now I have it, I'm having a tool that partially edits stuff online, and I need to download the file and tweak the file. But if, let's say, I go to visiting my in-laws or my parents, and I stay there a few days and I want to publish, then I need to have my own tools. If everything is online, I just connect and use it, and that's the goal. So I don't need to copy the code everywhere. So that's why. Don't be sorry, I was just messing with you. It's totally fine. Totally fine. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. And yesterday afternoon I was off, so I took some. I started a project. So I have a service that I like, that is by Pushlight. Clean up everything and give us back the information, title, author, like a bunch of information. So I did a wrapper. That tool is in Node. So what I did is just I create an Azure function that called that, expect a URL, and return the result. So I deployed that. We did that this morning, deploying. So now it's in Azure. I have a container app that using Pandoc. So Pandoc is converting a bunch of files, or bunch of input to bunch of output text. So I have that running in the container app, because I think I will be using other containers, so that's why I'm using container app. And I will scale to go to 0, so when I'm not using it, it should kind of turn off. So we'll be using that. And now I want to build a logic app, but before that we need some place to save that information about the article. So when we want to build the summary, we'll have the notes from the Kindle and that information, and we'll be able to generate the summary. That's the plan. What about Azure Function? What do you mean, tête d'ampoule? What's in Azure Function? Okay, so yeah, good question. So let me go back here. So Pushlight Parser, that's the thing I put right now in Azure Function. And it's really just this. Seriously, just like I'm taking a URL that comes from the query string and I'm doing like this thing here and I'm returning it. That's it. That's this Azure function. So doing that in a container, I would need, I guess, like a Nginx container, make still like a server around this. So I thought just Azure function was kind of easier. That's why I use that. And the logic app will be able to call that. The pandoc is in a container because I didn't found any way to have pandoc as a library. It's always required some installation, so having it in a container, then it's easier. And yeah, and maybe I will also put a website there. Maybe the editor will be in a container. I'm not sure. Like, I know I will be leveraging more Azure function, probably in .NET, for parsing, for example, my clipping, the file from the Kindle. So I will have like another Azure function because it will be in .NET, because like I'm a .NET developer. But because I could have written also it in Node, but I don't really want to do that in Node. Yeah. And now we're just wondering, should I go serverless or have the throughput? And I think I will just go with like the provision. Yeah, I think I will go with the provision one. Provision here, and we'll have like with the free tier, that will be plenty for us. Apply the free tier discount. So apply, if I go serverless, see there's like, it's not there. So I'm guessing it's because it's not available. And yeah, we'll see. Limit the total of amount of throughput can provision of this account. Yeah. Version. This limit will prevent unexpected charge related to provision throughput. You can update. Okay, cool. Version, yeah, 4.2. Why would I use a earlier version? Maybe there's dependencies depending on how you connect, but we don't know anything. So let's assume that everything is working. We'll take the last version. Okay, cool. Global distribution. Nope, we don't need that. Nope. Networking. Let's do this like that. Backup. Okay, that's good. Tags. Yeah, let's put owner, Frank. And then let's put expired on. Let's put end of the month. And this is just for me. I have another project at work that lists all the project. It's just so if I want to clean up stuff, I could use that. And now since we're just working on, that's a quick way for me to say, you know what, like delete all of that. And usually I don't care because I have script. But now since I'm really just getting started, I don't have any script, so I should be worried to not delete that. Let's do project, and we'll put reading notes. Cool. Yeah, let's do this. Container app, like I really want to use container app. It's really new for me. I know the PM. So I want to bring back feedback. There's always like that reason why like I'm using those services. Like I say it to myself, like I'm walking the talk. Like, you know, if I say, yeah, use this, it's good. Well, I want to use it. And then like see, oh, that's painful. And I can try to understand better and then turn back to the people who work on those services and bring back feedback. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like good feedback. Even if the news is bad, I wanna bring that the good way. I don't want to say, hey, your product is bad, blah 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 blah. Like, no, that's not me. Constructive feedback. That's the word I was looking for. So while this is running, one thing we can go here is so all those services are being created. We can have a look to pre-reading. It was saying that I had a logic app here, so we can open that to have a look. Interesting. Let's go in raw. I have all my ideas there. Oh, is it the same? Yeah. This is running. Deployment in progress. So Tate Dampool, what's new with you? What's up? What's up, Tate Dampool? Mr. Magoo, what's your big plan for the weekend? Here, after this stream, I think I will go outside because it's snowing. They announced like 25 centimeter of snow or something like that. So I will take my cameras and my 25 camera. I will take my camera and maybe my GoPro. So cameras, it's, you know, camera and a GoPro. And I will go make some snap, see if I can find some stuff. That's the plan, at least for today, and during the weekend, I have no idea. Yeah. But here we didn't have, like, it was on the grass yesterday. No snow. Like, that's very unusual for, like, for this region. It was like 3 degrees Celsius. Also very unusual for this time of the year here. Cool, so our Cosmo DB is created. The documentation was saying that I need some... So I need a collection name post to read. So let's create that. Come on. I hate when it does that. Post to read. So I'm guessing... Oh, that's cool. It's true, I can go now with Data Studio. Oh, do I have Data Studio installed here? I don't remember if it runs. I think it runs on Linux. Data Explorer. Welcome. Quick launch. Start. Feel like I should zoom out a little bit, right? Frank. Change corner. Oh, that's interesting. Am I higher here than there? I am. Here I'm hiding in the corner. Launch quick start tutorial. New collection. Create a new collection. That's what we want to create. Right? Collection post and a partition / domain. Let's do this. Free tier. You can get the first blah 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 storage account. Okay, cool. Database name. Collection ID. Cool. Database name. Do we have that in the docs? I think I saw that in our JSON document. So it doesn't say anything about the name of the database, but if I look here, connection ID, document DB1. Oh, so I was using document DB. Really? Yeah, document DB partition key domain. Oh my god. Is it because Cosmo DB was called document DB? That like 3 years ago? You know what? Like it's possible. Document DB is the processor of Cosmo DB, so they kind of like turn it to 11 and stuff like that. Oh, so that's why I was calling it Cosmo DB, the document DB. I think I want to call it Cosmonaut. That's a good name, right? Cosmonauts. Feel like a cosmonaut, you know, in the space, but I like that. Cosmonaut DB. Yeah, I like that name. Damn. I'm way too happy about that name, you know what? I like way too much that name. I shouldn't be that proud of a name. Oh.
Bonjour. Hi.
Hey, Balatas. Bonjour, comment ça va? Tête d'ampoule, you land. And I'm completely lost in the corner. And you know what? You're the first one who land today and the only one. So you're totally leading the statistics. The game. Okay, so auto scale. That's good. Manual. What's manual? Let's keep it to auto scale for now. The max. I don't know. Let's go 100. Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go advance. Oh, okay, do we need anything else? I think we're good, right? Cosmo DB node. Yeah, let's try that. Let's create this. Boom. Value greater than 1,000. Okay, well then, 1,000. Oh, maybe then I should say don't scale. Yeah. I'm good. Vacation time. So start coding. Today I will go outside. Yesterday I was watching a few streams, found a very interesting stream. A woman that I forgot her name doing Oh yeah. Now it's the time to try it. Baldata, tête d'ampoule, you led for just like 5 minutes. I shouldn't be proud of like beating you, but I'm happy today. Why? No idea. Okay, so now we have a database with a collection. You're trying your trick of 100. You know what? It looks promising. Ah! You are close. You are close. Why the music stop? Why the music stop? Okay. So we have that. That's good. Let's go back to our resource group. Now we want to create a logic app so we can integrate all those resources together. So let's create a logic app. Okay, so node cleaner, post cleaner. I think it's post cleaner v3. Blog post, yeah. Blog post cleaner v3. We'll go in East US, please. Excellent. Workflow container. Oh yeah. It's true now, it's running in a container. Nah, workflow is good for me for now. Yeah, I think it's consumption I want. Tags, let's put tags again. Expire on, and again, the end of the year. And project. There it is. Boom. Let's create that. Any big project for the weekend or the holiday period, Balatas? Any of you are taking vacations? Time off? Maybe not vacation, but time off a little bit. I'm guessing a few of you between the 25 and the 1st of the year. Maybe not. Oh, create, yeah, otherwise. If I'm not clicking the create button that I was hiding, if I was doing that, oh, it's already done. Go to resources. Excellent. Great. Okay, so now we have our logic app. Well, like we have a logic. Yeah, we have a logic app. Now we want to create a flow, and I think I want to create a blank one like this. So now we could have like, oh, use your connector and stuff like that. But what we'll do instead is go into code view here. Now it's a template. And we'll add this thing here. Just worry because this been 2016. And Cosmo, yeah, let's close Cosmo. This was, oh yeah, that's an Azure function that we don't need now. Okay, it looks like it's the same. Is it the same? Let's copy all of that, open it in whoops. Close this folder. Close the remote connection. Open a new file, drop the file. Oh, cool, I love it when it does that. Can I collapse all? Format document. So I have connections, I have definitions, I have actions, parameters, triggers, and in the new version I have schema. I have that, right? Oh yeah, so it's not exactly the same. No, I have, yeah, at a high level I have, nope, see, it's different. So I think I should remove the connections. It will complain anyway. In definition, I have all those things. Right? I have the schema. The schema, does it look the same? Let's have a look. I think Microsoft Logic schema. Okay, so the workflow definition is the same. And I have actions, content version, output parameters, and trigger. Yeah, so it is the same. So let's give it a try. So we copy all of it and we override here, and then we try to see if what's the designer will tell us. It will complain for sure. The client permission to perform the blah 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 blah. What did I forget? Okay, I need to change the subscription ID. That's, yeah, that's the okay. Okay, so that's the function ID. So we could go in the portal, open it in a new tab. We'll go grab the ID of our Azure function and we should be good. So if I do this here, I do the Azure function here, and I think the subscription ID will be this. So we can, oh, you know what? Let's go here. Maximize. So we'll work here instead. Boom, boom, boom. In case there's other, so this, Control H for search and replace. Apparently there's only one. So resource group is node v3, right? If we go back into our here, node v3 is our resource group. So is there any other? Yeah, apparently there's two. Oh yeah, it was the name of the function. So our function name now is this, AZ pushlight parser. So instead of this, Control H, boom, and the function is just, I could have called it HTTP, I just called it parser. I could have called it HTTP. And this, now, we could change that later. Okay, so let's give it a try. So now if we do this, so Control C, switching back here. Let's update again. So let's try to go with the designer. Yay! Yay! This is our low-code environment. So now, when we receive a request, we'll have a URL. Then we call this thing, it's our Azure function passing the post request. Post request is coming from this, but we didn't define anything. We should. And here we could say, can I change that? Yeah. So I cannot change that. Okay, let's keep the previous name. Oh, I was dropping file on my OneDrive. It's expecting a connection to OneDrive. Okay, why can I not just create a new connection? Settings, maybe in settings, secure input, secure output, asynchronous pattern. Connection not found. So I guess I shouldn't have deleted the connection. I should have maybe left the connection, and then it will be, oh, like I cannot find, and then I will be able to reset it. Let's try that. So in the schema, if I go back to the raw version, I deleted the part connection. Yeah, there was a OneDrive one. And okay, so let's do this here. We'll go back here. Outside the definition, right? It was outside the definition, right? Yeah. So here, we'll go there. Document DB. I need a comma here. I don't like document DB things, but okay. Now let's go to designer. Provider API connection parameter OneDrive is missing the required property connection ID. I guess I need to create a new one. Let's do that instead. We'll do this. Go back in designer. Now it doesn't work anymore. Damn it. The provider API. What did we do? Okay, let's save. So we know it's trying to create a file in a OneDrive, and it was trying to go in the folder dev demo, create a file called test.json. Oh, like I'm under it. Let me move myself to the left, and if I zoom a little bit, so here the input is, come on Frank, stop moving. So we will take the body from the parser, so whatever the extract, the clean and result, and we want to save that into the folder. If I go here, it was the dev demo folder of my OneDrive doing the file test.json. I'm guessing this is just for kind of trace purposes. So we'll do that. What I will do is add here a connection, a new action. We'll create a file, so we could say OneDrive. We'll just add a new one. 2 times in a row. Oh, you land and I miss it. 24. That's awesome. Touché par la grâce, indeed. OneDrive, come on, OneDrive. I want a OneDrive regular, and we want the create file here. So I will go in my secret mode, signing in. Okay. Voila. So now I need to go to the path. So if I go here, not to the root, it was dev demo, right? Yeah. Here, the file name was test.js, and the content of the file is the output of this. So this, it will be the body. Great. So we can now delete that one. How do we delete it? Delete. Yes. Okay, so let's change the name. So save file to OneDrive. Here I said I want to change it, so let's change it. Yeah, cool. Adapt. That's what I was expecting, that if you change the name, then it will kind of like roll down, bubble up, and update all the names. Before, the error was not caused by that. It was just like couldn't find the connection to the OneDrive. Let's try to drop again. Oh, look like I will be landing. You want to push me? Oh, wow. 2 score higher than 90. It's not my game, but yeah, I know what you mean. You cheat. I'm not. Promise. Okay. So now we save the file into the OneDrive. We'll initialize some variables. So post to read object. What is it? Okay, so now we get all the document. I'm guessing that's trying to connect to the document DB, like the database. So if we look here, reading notes, yeah, it's trying to have all the document. So let's add a new one. And we'll say Cosmos DB. Cosmo DB. And it was called get all document here. So I'm guessing we need to find the action get all document. And I have here get all document v3. I think we'll go with that one. Yeah. Let's go, where was he? Oh yeah, here. Get document. It's a little bit small, huh? I'm sorry. So connection name, enter the name of your connection. The key. Okay. Okay, that's a good question. Where is my, so that's my database. And I'm looking for the connection string, so I'm guessing it's here. Let's go secret mode. Oh, let's go face mode. Okay, it was obfuscated already. So host, post, username, primary password, secondary password, primary connection string. Let's take that one. And I could have done that all. Oh no, I think when I will paste it though. No, connection name. Connection name. What's my connection name? The host? The key, account ID, access key. I think, okay, connection's name is just the name I'm giving it to it, I think. So let's call it, yeah, Cosmonaut, Cosmo Reading Mongo. That was a very mouthful name. And I will be using the Logic App Manage Identity. You must enable the manage and Logic App to, okay, let's not do that then. Let's do Azure Integrated. Sign in. So it's popping my Microsoft account and the selected user does not exist in the tenant. The account needs to be added as an external user tenant first. Maybe I use key. So account, the name of the account without document. Okay, I can find that. Okay. Okay, I think I know what it is. Document. So without the Cosmo Azure, right? Yeah. So I think we'll go with this. And access key to your document, the private or secondary key. Okay. Let's try this one. Okay, if I do this instead, I think we got connected. Yeah, let's share. Just want to show stuff. Yeah, okay, I can show stuff. Okay, let's go back in the Logic app. I want to show you what I did. Just want to make sure I can show you, right? I want to show you as much as I can, but I still want to be safe. Okay, so we were here and it was asking to have, like, we had different options. If I'm using Azure AD or Logic app, I need to enable stuff. And I was like, nah, let's use like the key kind of user password thing. So it was asking for the name of the account. So the name of the account is the name of our, it was saying without the end, so without the Mongo, Cosmo, whatever. So that means is the name of our account. So that was the first part. And then for the key, you need to go here in the connection string, and then you can pick the primary key, the secondary key, and you have those to read and write or read only. So you could select whatever you want. When you do that, then you arrive to that page where you say, okay, now you need to database. So I'm using this connection string. Now database ID, I'm guessing it will be pre-populated. Yeah, Cosmo DB. See that? I like that name, Cosmo DB. It's a cool name, right? Were you there, All Cloudies? I think it's pretty cool. It's funny. Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. Good catch. Let's do that. Yeah, to do, done, to. Yeah, to do, start, 3. Let's do time, creating the Logic app. Thank you. That was Tech Dump Pool. Yeah, we can count on Tech Dump Pool to keep us on track. All right. Okay. So now Cosmo DB. Why I'm so happy? I think I will ping like the yeah. No, I shouldn't do that. And then our collection is supposed to read, and that's it. I don't know. I think that's all it was, right? If we go here, did we add any parameter? I don't think we had any parameter. So it ends with docs. No, it ends with docs. I think we're good. I don't know why we're using V2. I select V3. It says V3 here. I don't know. So here we're getting all the documents. What? We lost? Oh no, that's the old one, so we can delete that one. Let's keep it for now, just in case other steps are using the output. So create or update the document. So we need to create or update a document inside Cosmo. And we'll be passing the variable created. And the domain. Okay, so let's create another one. So we'll add an action, and it will be again Cosmos DB. Cosmos DB. Why are you not typing when I'm typing Cosmos? Well, it's been a while. I didn't listen to that track too. That playlist. Recently, I've been listening to NTO. I really like that artist. Create or update. That's what I want, right? Yeah, create or update document, and I'm using V3 because we don't know. Don't remember using any other version. So the connections will be this one. The database is this one. The collection is our post to read. And document create is our variable. But what was the thing with the domain? So let's copy all that in VS Code. So this we don't need anymore. So that's the new version, okay? And let's go in the previous version and see what's the difference. Let's create a new file, put it there. Let's make them. So the input, okay. Here I was passing a raw partition key. And the domain is the partition key. But I'm using the ID, I think, right? When we created stuff, it was like, hey, do you want partition and stuff? Forgot what we picked. Do you remember what we picked? I don't. So I'm doing the partition by domain. And now I think currently in my connection, we did use yeah, so here I'm guessing I will have partition I could have. Activity ID. Like it's strange, huh? We don't have the partition. Maybe it detects that the partition is automatic. Secure, asynchronous. I don't think, anyway, domain was that of a great idea. Okay, so we don't need you anymore. And we don't need you anymore. So now we have something that works, in theory. Oh my god. So we save. Should we try to run it? Oh, I'm scared. So we are expecting a post URL. But yeah, here I should have like a parameter and maybe post URL. add a parameter. I think if it, can I do this post URL? I forgot how you put parameter. Settings. Add a parameter name, relative path, and then I had the parameter here. I think it's the schema I want. Still no luck, Mr. Magoo. Any of you are doing the advent coding things? I know a lot of it's broken. Yeah, well, you could reach out to InstaFluff and say, hey, why your game is not working for me? Yeah, I don't think I need that though. So let's close this file. Don't save. Here, that's our URL. Now we want to add, since we already have parameter, right? This thing has already parameter. Like see API version, blah, 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 blah. So we want to add the post URL. So I'm adding a new parameter. It's called post URL equal, right? That's here what we're waiting, post URL. Oh, it was just, okay, whoops. Yeah, VS Code. And then I don't think it's case sensitive, but let's not take any chance. And now if I go here, that was the post we want to use, but the problem is right now, if you could see, if I'm zooming, I cannot zoom in that thing. We need to encode it. So if I do this, I think it's URL encoder, online, encode. Yeah. So like, you know, we cannot have the slash, we need to put the percent thing. Forgot how it's called, the ASCII thing. So that's what we want to do. It's broken. I did some AOC, but they're a bit annoying. What? Oh, advent code, but they are a bit annoying. So I'm. Oh, they are annoying. What? Like yesterday? Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday, and I watched. Singularity, I forgot his name, full name. Finite Singularity. I watch him code, but I didn't understand the challenge. I felt stupid because I was reading it and I was like, I don't know what they are expecting. I watched it this morning and I was like, nah, not sure I want to do that, but yeah. So I like the idea though, but yeah. Okay, so that's what we want to call. So now we could just type this and wait. So it failed. No response. Okay. So, get document was forbidden. What? So SQL API is not supported for this database account. Oh. So that's SQL? Oh. Oh. So the logic app is using SQL. Ah, the connector is using SQL. Oh, okay. Why can we not change that though? Ah. So the connector is using SQL, and that's why we needed to have the SQL database. So in the docs here, well, not in the docs, but in my notes, it was like, hey, where was... identity database, Cosmo DB, MongoDB. So since the MongoDB interface is not supported at the moment, we roll back to SQL. But Azure Cosmos DB is a globally distributed mutant, but that's the connector. So here we are in Logic App stuff, I'm assuming. Yeah, Logic App. So, and this is all the connectors. Why I'm in light mode? Because I'm not signed in. Can I sign in? Why I'm still in light mode? I have enough of all the lights in my face. SQL. Yeah, there's like 12,000 words of health things, health that, and just count down how many of this thing. Yeah, I don't know. Today was the pipe. You need to remove elephant, and you have pipes. I think, I don't know. It depends. I think there's many different one. Which one did you try, Mr. Magoo? I like yesterday. I was just I think I was looking at I think it's adventcode.dev. Nope. .com. Nope. Yeah, that's the one I did. Well, not I did. Finite Singularity is a streamer. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Finite Singularity is an awesome streamer. So yeah, so I looked this morning and have a bunch of pipe, and you need to remove elephant, and you need to do that. So it's basically parsing strings and like having a pattern to like identify what would be the best. So like you're parsing that, identifying the rate, the flow rate, and then like that would be the key. And then you have like some kind of logic to identify the optimal path. And like every time you do a thing, like so you need to solve to see what's the best potential maximum flow that you could have in 30 actions. SQL for DB connection. Yeah. So like Cosmo DB is like it's a database, it's a NoSQL database, but then you can have tons of, and I'm like Ted Dampool is asking like why SQL for Cosmo DB? Like you have ton of connectors, right? And it looked like the connector I picked is using SQL. And that's why here in my information was like, hey, identity database, Cosmo DB, and then we created the Mongo, and then say, hey, since it's not MongoDB's interface is not supported at this moment, like look like 3 years after, it's still not, or I didn't pick the good one. We'll have a look. We rolled back to SQL API. So maybe I will need to do that. And I see the stream is getting to the end, so let's just read quickly the doc, see what it is really. This connector is available for the following product region, so Logic App. Okay, so using this, you will need a Cosmo SQL API account. Voila. Period. It says here. To use this integration, you will need to use SQL API. Otherwise, I could have a layer, but then what's the point of having the Logic App if I'm adding a layer to talk to my database? No, it's sad. Like I mean, it's sad. It's not that sad. Like I think I would be more comfortable in SQL than Mongo, but so V2 is deprecated. Well, okay. So look like I will need to let's add some notes for the stream. So let's go here in split screen. Boom. So I want to add some notes so I know where we are. So notes or note? I forgot. Is it? How can I always forget like my commands? Repository. CloudBot. A note is not even here. Damn it. Note. Singular. It's a one note I'm adding. So note. Yeah, I think that's it. We just need to say, like, change the Cosmo. I don't think we can change it though, like, right? I was saying you will need a Cosmo DB SQL API account. Can I? So from here, I don't think I can change the API. Add collection, that's cool. Data migration. No. Yeah. Another thing also, I would like to use so Azure Data Studio. It's cool. I want if there's a version of that like in the browser, download. Is Azure Data Studio is available on Linux? Yeah. Cool. I'll be installing that. Excellent. Yeah. So I think that's it. How many people are we? Like just 4? I don't think I will raid anybody. We're just 4 people today. Except if you think it's a good idea. I don't know what it should be. Yeah, I think that will be it for now. I'll probably continue to work, but I need a bio break. And yeah, I think I'll also spend some time today outside. So big thank you for all of you to be with me today. We had some fun. It was nice to see you back. Tide d'Ampoule and Mr. Magoo, always a pleasure. And Beldatas. No, I'm not sure if you're still there, Beldatas, but if you're still there, it was a pleasure having you. So yeah, it was a great stream. Enjoy your snow. I will. I'll be there. I don't know. Will I be there next week? On the 23rd? I don't think I will be streaming next week. So 23rd, I don't think I will be streaming, but I'm pretty sure I will be back for the 30th. So I'll probably take a week off because, yeah, 23, I think I'll be busy doing other things. But hey, have a great week, everybody, and I will see you on the 30th, last stream of the year. Bye, everybody.